Speaking of Doge, I have my Dogecoin whistle here. I summon a Doge right like that. Mr. 26 is asking a question. Video title. It's Ponzi-nomics. Mark Yusko calls out the Dogecoin cryptocurrency craze. So this is a video specifically about the craze of crypto, right? We have Bitcoin, which they bought, like Reese Beat says, after they realized that it actually did hold water. They have NFTs, which is going to go through a bubble, but then they're going to buy in anyway. But right now, we have CNBC coming again to spread some FUD about GME, and this time our brethren in memes, Mr. Dogecoin. What exactly can we say about this breakdown? A video that has a very bad dislike to like ratio on YouTube. That must mean that they're controversy for something. And if you guys enjoy these mainstream FUD article breakdowns, to make sure that you should understand both sides of what they're trying to say and how they're incentivized to say it, then make sure that you've already slammed that like button. I see we have already gotten to 800, so this is coming out in just a second. But if we can get this video up to 900, that'll be really appreciative from my side. And if you guys want to join us on our way to 100,000 subscribers, right, we have daily goals for each video, and this one we are just 200 or so away from 78,000, where I'm going to buy another $500 of GME and AMC. So let's get going. Ponzi-nomics.
Are you selling everything you own and putting it into Dogecoin?
You know, I wish we could just not talk about Dogecoin. To me, Dogecoin is everything that's wrong. It epitomizes everything that's wrong with the markets today. Just like GameStop, look, it's cult behavior. It's liquidity from stimulus checks. It's pure speculation, and it will end badly.
So, pure speculation. Let's make sure that he doesn't get away with just getting that talking point out of the way. We have the pause button here, so we get to make a couple of statements. One, he's talking about the stimulus check. Again, the same way that Kenneth Griffin talked about it as a very bad thing, a way to support these dying meme stocks that are going to hurt the entire economy overall, painting us once again as the bad guys, the predators, the people that are trying to profit off a situation that the hedge funds created. So once again, yes, there is a side to say that there are people that haven't done the DD, that haven't done the research, that don't understand the difference between speculation and proper data analysis, and are going to make a big boo-boo in their financial health. However, there is coerced buying, and that has never stopped, right? Shorts must cover, gamma must ramp, and the squeeze potentials continue. We wouldn't be here if we haven't seen that potential. So one of the most important pieces of this question is, why must these asset managers, right, Mark Yuskos of the world, have to put down GME as a one-sided argument that there are people without like education in the finances? Well, there are people out without education in both sides. In fact, the people that fund hedge funds, the people who have to make over $200,000 a year before and the year after, or hold up to $1 million of assets, those people don't know how to invest their money either. So that is essentially pitting us against the mainstream perception of us. And already 20 seconds off the bat, Mark, you're not really making friends here.
Well, do you think it's like the game we all used to play as kids, right? I mean, musical chairs. I mean, at some point, the music ends and somebody is standing without the chair. Do you think Dogecoin, it sounds like you do, is simply just, I'm going to sell it to you at a higher price because I can until it stops going up? Let's just keep doing this.
Yeah, look, at least, Brian, with musical chairs, at least there was a chair. There's no chair here. There's nothing here. I said this is pure speculation, and you know there's a lot of examples of this all across the markets, actually all around the world, where people are literally using the gamification of markets as an excuse to quote unquote invest. It's not investing, it's not even trading, it's just pure Ponzi-nomics, and we've kind of socialized this whole idea that it's okay. I said I really don't want to talk about it, but you know, you are the host, so I have to go.
You're the host, and I'm going to have to pause you. It's Ponzi-nomics, the gamification of the markets, now blaming it on GameStop, where we've seen in Congress that the guilty parties here are the Robin Hoods of the world, making it seem like, oh yeah, options are really easy. They're like fruits, right? Call options are just like coupons. This is once again outsourcing, externalizing the guilt that should be falling on parties that make transactions possible, not the people transacting and working with the research involved, right? We've always advocated for full transparency and research on this channel, and nothing has changed from there. And once again, if he's talking about someone else, right? If he's talking about somebody else who is trying to like make it like funny and fun money and gamification, and making it clear that, oh, GME is just a fun wacky craze, yeah. Those people are one of a kind, right? Not all of us combined. And that's something that I'm pretty sure they don't really have a good bearing on.
Belong.
Well, Mark, to be fair, we're not talking about Dogecoin itself, I think. And I agree with you 100%. What we're talking, you and I have been doing this for 20-some, 25, whatever years. We're talking about whatever asset class it is, Dogecoin, whatever it may be, the idea that there are dangerous, frothy markets out there. I don't know if Dogecoin is dangerous, but we do have to say, be careful, do we, right? So I agree. I don't want to talk about Dogecoin itself in as much as the frenzy. It's gone from a nickel to 40 cents. On no news, makes no sense.
Yeah, look, I mean, that's exactly right, Brian, is just the awareness of these types of movements is really important, right? You know, you were just talking about Roaring Kitty and GameStop and the the Redditors, which does sound like predators, right? And I think
Mr. William Shakespeare over here. This is not a time to be able to throw out like wordplay to be able to support your rhetoric. This is getting to the point that there's a clear bias here, and even if you were taking this from an objective point of view, there's just no data being supported, right? Be able to bring out something, even if you're speculating about the group of people that you're talking about. Throw some data out there. Redditors rhymes with predators. I think you really can't sink lower than this.
Total gamification of investing, right? You and I have been talking about this, coming up on 3 decades, hard to believe. And we've actually talked about this construct of investing and what it means to put capital to work, and what it means to buy things that have good management and good ideas and good businesses. This is not that. This is what happened in 2000. When you get to a bubble, when you get excess liquidity, and you get people believing that they can buy anything that moves, and that's okay, that's just gambling, right? And there's a predilection toward gaming and gambling in the world. There's lots of businesses built around that, and I think this is just a really bad example of an extreme of that behavior.
I'm going to put something up on social today or tomorrow, I think, Mark. Everything you need to know about right now, you can learn from Forbes covers from 1999. I'm not joking. I found covers talking about digital money, about how kids were taking over Wall Street and scaring the quote establishment, about how you're not smart, not you, but we are not smart enough to understand all the new technology. Man, it rang true. Anywho, let's talk about real news. Some good news out of China. A Chinese official coming out and calling Bitcoin, quote, an investment alternative. Not exactly a ringing endorsement, but not exactly a takedown either. And any even slightly positive commentary from China and other big regulators has got to be perceived as positive, does it not?
Sure, especially when that commenter is related to the central bank of China. Look, I believe that Bitcoin will be a central bank reserve asset at some point, whether it be China, whether it be Europe, whether it be U.S. Don't really know who will go first, but I absolutely believe this is a huge positive sign. Look, Bitcoin is I think everything that's right with markets. This is a long-term monetary system. It is designed as an alternative store of value to fiat currencies, which are being destroyed all around the world. Just think about the dollar, right? We've created 40% of all the dollars that ever existed in the last 12 months. And when you do that, you devalue them. And it's because we have too much debt at government levels all around the world. So when you see central bank governors start to talk about an asset that they think could preserve wealth, we've seen that with corporations, with people like Michael Saylor. And it's why, it's why I have my hashtag, hashtag probably a fad with a little wink. This is not a fad. This is not a Ponzi. This is something that's going to be with us for a very long time. And it is a great store of value, basically digital gold.
Well,
okay. So let me just tell you a little bit about the incentives of this conversation. When they didn't get into Bitcoin yet, when the mainstream media had no actual skin in the game, they of course did not want to push up Bitcoin. And now that they do, and it's getting pretty clear who does, they do, right? They do want to be able to push up Bitcoin and say, yeah, it's amazing. We didn't really think it was going to get this far, but now we love it, right? Because of X, Y, and Z. You can put X, Y, and Z in almost any type of situation. I love Dogecoin because it is for the people, right? It is created based on something that people love. And this is X, Y, and Z. Once again, you can make X, Y, and Z for anything. And the technology behind Bitcoin is vast. I currently, I think, have like maybe less than $1 of Bitcoin. That could change in the future, but I can tell you right now that I do love Bitcoin. I do love the idea that you can have this finite cap on your cryptocurrency, and that is one of the biggest dreads that I have for Dogecoin. But this type of personification of what is wrong with these incentives and these talking heads on the mainstream media is exactly the problem here. They will knock GME, they will knock Bitcoin, they have knocked Bitcoin, and they will continue to knock what you care about because you're invested and they aren't. Don't forget about incentives when you try and bring up this story. That's why I am modestly invested in both AMC and GME. Why don't I have more? Because then I'll be pumping these stocks just like these guys here. And I would rather keep it clear that there is a clear distinction between the amount of news out there that I want to be able to share with you, the amount of technical analysis that I want to share with you, and the fact that GME is currently ripping away. And I want to be able to cover that on the live chat. If you guys also want to come on the live streams, make sure that you have already decided to slam that subscribe, that bell button, and join that darn Patreon if you guys haven't yet, or that's join button next to the subscribe button, and we'll see you in the money. Peace.